Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to this video in which we will see if I can keep my glasses on for the entire video. Just kidding, this is my forever wish list, and if you're curious what's on it, then just keep on watching. So today I am titling this video Stuck Like Glue, and it is an idea that I got from Lisa Stevens and Kelly Gooch. I've enjoyed watching their videos to see things that are stuck on their wish lists, whether it's your love list at Sephora or your favorites at Ulta. What are the things that are stuck on your wish list for one reason or another? I went through my Sephora wish list and my Ulta wish list, and I've compiled a few things from each of them that have been on my wish list literally since I created my wish list. Let's go ahead and get into it. That was kind of a long preamble. So first we're gonna go with Ulta, and the number one thing that I have not purchased yet that is stuck like glue on my wish list is the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. For the things that I don't have an example of, I will insert it here. And it's just so weird. To be honest, I really want to try the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. It's something that is a cult favorite. It's a favorite of a lot of my favorite YouTubers here. And there's no reason why I haven't bought it other than I have a lot of eyeshadow primers already. I seem to acquire them whether from friends or samples or what have you, and I just don't feel justified, even though I believe it's $6.99 on the Ulta website. I just don't feel justified in purchasing a new primer until I work through some of my other primers, but it's right there hanging out on the top of my wish list, which is my oldest things. Next is the Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant, and I originally saw the recommendation from Nikia Joy. I will link her channel below as well as anyone else that I mentioned. The reason I have not purchased the full size yet is that I have two of these travel size Dermalogica microfoliants. This mini cost $15. I purchased one at the full price, and then the other one came in a little kit that I got at Christmas time. And so the full size though is $57. That being said, it is on the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and it is one that I considered purchasing, but to be quite honest, I believe I got this around Black Friday, the first one, and there's still product in here. I'm still working through it. I'm definitely getting down to the end in there, but again, I have another unopened travel one, and so that's kind of why I haven't purchased it. $57 is quite a lot for a cleanser for me, even though I'm sure it would last me forever. And yes, I could give you all of the amounts, you know, in terms of ounces and things like that to tell you what the better deal is, but we'll save that for another edition of Minis or Nah. I will link that video up in the cards right here in case you missed it. But yeah, so the full-size Dermalogica has been on my wish list since I bought this one, and it's still hanging out. And then the next thing is MAC Fix Plus, which I have the little MAC here, and the miniature is $12. I picked it up in the candy aisle at Ulta. Specifically, I bought it for foiling eyeshadows simply because I was new to beauty and YouTube, and this is what a lot of people use. So that's why I originally picked it up. The full size is $26. I really love this. I actually would use this all over my face. It does not have alcohol in it, which I really appreciate in a setting spray. You will hear people tell you though that this is essentially water and glycerin and a little bit of fragrance, which is a nice fragrance, and one of my favorite things about it. It does work ideal for foiling eyeshadows, which is what I use it for. But I just haven't been able to bring myself to get the full size. Number one, MAC is not cruelty free, and I'm trying to, especially wherever possible, find cruelty free options. As much as I would love to purchase this, I actually think I'm going to take it off my wish list. MAC is definitely one of those brands that is making it harder for me to go cruelty-free. I have trouble finding setting sprays that don't have alcohol in them, but I think I'm gonna take that one off my wish list this time. The next product will not be a surprise to many of you, and I'm sure most of you have this somewhere in your collection, but I actually have had on my wish list since I very first made it, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Started out that I didn't purchase it because they didn't have a shade that was dark enough for me, but they have since released 2 new shades, one of which is called Sunkissed bronzer, and that's the shade that I would like to purchase. However, I'm currently panning the number 7 bronzer in my year-long 2018 project pan, and so I think I'm going to wait and reward myself when I hit pan on that one to go ahead and pick up the butter bronzer, but I'm still gonna work on finishing that bronzer from number 7. And then the last thing, which I will put right here so you can see what I'm talking about. The last thing from Ulta is the BECCA blushes. There are so many shades that I am interested in. I think the number 1 shade that I'm interested in is the shade called Songbird. It's a really pretty orangey but luminous. I don't know, it almost reminds me, just from looking, I have not swatched either one of these products that I'm comparing, but it reminds me a little bit of the Milani Luminoso Baked Blush in the tone. It's sort of orangey and luminous, and it just looks really pretty and something nice for a warm undertone. And that's it from Ulta. Moving on to Sephora, I have only 3 things because I tend to be a little more ruthless, I think, on Sephora when cleaning off my wish list of things that either aren't cruelty-free or I've got something similar that I have added to my collection, what have you. But the number 1 thing that is the oldest thing on my wish list, and this goes way back, which isn't that far back, but it goes back to the beginning of my journey in beauty when I was watching Jaclyn Hill, and she talked about the Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar lip glosses all the time. But nowadays I have looked through all the shades and I really am attracted to some of the unique shades that they have in there. I still would like to try Sugar Sugar, but herein lies the problem, is they're relatively expensive. I'll put the price on the screen for the full-size lip glosses. They're just rather expensive for a lip gloss, specifically for a lip gloss that I'm not sure whether I'm going to like it or not. And so I did see Sephora had a new release though, however, of 4 different shades, I believe it was. I will link it in the description box below. But it's this little, sampler where you get about 4 mini size Marc Jacob lipsticks, and I believe it was $35, which I think is quite a good deal. So I may go ahead and pick that up at some point because I don't think I'm going to use up much more than a miniature lip gloss unless I would find like a really nice shade that I want to have all the time. And it'd just be fun to try several different colors for a far reduced price. Next is the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum Cream. So Bum Bum Boom Boom, whatever you want to call it, everybody talks about this stuff on YouTube. They now have a hand cream, a foot cream, they have lip balms, they have body spray, and they have the Boom Boom cream itself, or Bum Bum. I don't know, it looks like it's spelled Bum Bum to me. But anyhow, I'm so intrigued by this, a scent that everybody loves. I have never ever heard anybody say that I hate the smell of the Bum Bum cream, and I'd really like to try it, but it is rather expensive, and I think I'm gonna wait and reward myself with something Bum Bum once I finish off some of the categories that those would fall into, like work through some of my hand creams or finish up a foot cream or what have you. And then the last thing may surprise you guys that it has been on my wish list for so long, but that is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, and it has 3 shades, and here it is. So this palette runs $62, which may seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, I paid 40 something for the full-size ambient lighting powder in dim light. It is my favorite powder. It is always what I am wearing on film when I'm looking luminous. And I also have a mini of both dim light and this one, which is diffused light. This is the powder I prefer for setting under my eyes. It's very lightweight and doesn't make it look quite so dry under there. From what I've seen though, I believe the pan sizes in the palette are about this size, and there's 3 of them for $62. So if you do the math, the mini powders and blushes and things like that from Hourglass are $24. If you take that times 3, it is what? So all in all, it makes it a little bit cheaper, but there is one shade that is exclusive to that palette as well. So yeah, that's been on my wish list since the beginning of Sephora time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought this was just a good time to throw things, and also a really fun video idea. I would love to see any of you guys who are creators do this video as well, or if you're not, tell me down in the comments. Until next time, bye.